We're getting ready to welcome you back to St Leonard's, Lexden for public worship. To find out more, follow me inside. This is a video about what it will be like to come and worship with us at St Leonard's Church in Lexden. My name's Matt Simpkins and I'm the priest in charge here. If you're not able to come and join us to worship in person, then please know that we're going to continue to broadcast a service from here each week through Facebook and YouTube. For those who do come, there are quite a few changes to the layout of the building, to our pattern of worship, and to the content of our worship. And this is because we need to make sure that we're doing all that we can in terms of hygiene and cleaning, social distancing, and the track and trace system. We know that some of these changes will be saddening and disappointing, and perhaps some of the other changes might be a little bit irritating in the short term. But we're doing these things for the best reasons, to ensure that you are safe, to ensure the safety particularly of the most vulnerable, and to look after our community as a whole. That's core to our life as Christians. If you want to find out more about all we've done to try and ensure safety here, then please use the link on screen and look at our risk assessment. When you arrive, you'll need to enter only by the Lexden Road door, and you'll probably have to queue, as is being demonstrated here. There'll be markers at a space of 2 meters, and then a steward will invite you into the church at the right time. There's a few things that you need to do at home before then. So who can come here for worship? Well, as long as you're not showing any of the symptoms of COVID-19, and as long as you're not supposed to be self-isolating, then you are welcome here. If you're in the extremely vulnerable category, we've been asked to strongly discourage you from attending, and you can of course still find our services online. The first thing to do is to check our website and social media for the times of the services that we're able to offer in that particular week. This is likely to change over time, so please keep checking those sources. Our capacity is strictly limited to 40 people in the congregation for now. This means that we may ask you to come at particular times for worship, perhaps according to the letter that begins your surname, if you possibly can. If you can, we ask that you register to come to a particular service. This is so that we can keep some information for the government's track and trace system. We'll keep that information securely for 21 days. Normally, we'll ask you to get that information to us by email by noon each Friday. In this first week, however, we ask that you get that information to us by 4 p.m. on Friday, please. When you arrive, you'll need to sanitize your hands in the usual thorough way. When you're in the building, you will need to follow the one-way system, which is indicated with these blue floor stickers. Roughly, we go down the centre aisle and back up the side aisles, and exit of the building will be through the extension and out of the southeast door. You'll be shown to your pew, and there are markers where 3 individuals can sit in a standard pew. But if you happen to be from the same household, you can sit together, of course. Ta-da! You need to keep 2 meters distance from each other, and avoid touching surfaces and avoid touching other people when you're here. But when you're in the pews, because of the width of our aisle and the depth of our pews, you're going to be approximately 1.6 meters apart at a minimum. We've introduced some risk mitigating factors to help with this, and these include opening the doors to increase the circulation of air and asking people to consider wearing face coverings. What will the worship be like? We're going to use a simplified version of our parish Eucharist that hopefully is accessible to people of all ages, including families and children. We've been asked to make sure that our services are as short as possible. We're also not permitted to have any singing in church for the time being. You'll notice that the service is conducted in the nave alone in the church, and that other parts of the church building are closed. We won't be using books for our services, but we will be using our projector screen. There will be some large print single-use orders of service available for those who need them. As before lockdown, we won't be able to share the peace physically. There won't be any refreshments at the end of the service, and people will be asked to arrive and leave promptly because, regrettably, at the moment, we're not able to have social gatherings and chatter as we would normally have at the beginning and end of each service. When it comes to the distribution of Holy Communion, there'll be a number of things in place to ensure that you can receive as hygienically as possible. When it comes to the distribution of communion, you'll be invited out from your pew and will queue in single file using the distance markers, and then eventually you'll come forward to receive from the bottom of the chancel step. There will be a toilet available, but this is for emergencies only. Exit will be through this extension, but no other parts of the extension are open for public access. There'll be hand sanitizer by the toilet and by this exit. So there you have it. That's what to expect. There are a few things that need to be done and a few disappointments, I'm sure, but really we're thrilled that we can welcome people back for public worship once again, and we hope that it's not too long before you can walk through these doors too and share with us.